Foggy brain, winter blues. You're not alone. But what if the solution isn't another cup of coffee? What if it's in your kitchen? Today, we're uncovering the natural foods that fuel your focus and lift your mood. No pills, no drugs, just plants and powerful nutritions. Let's sharpen that mind, and we're going to sharpen it right after this. Welcome, everybody. This is the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. I'm your co-host, Scott Patton. Joining us is health engineer, as usual, Martin Patella. How are you doing today, Martin?
Doing fine. I thought that you were going to be renaming me to Albert, or at least Martin Albert.
Yes, you look like Einstein today. And
Though he was said to be IQ 160, I only scored 130.
You're at least 170.
No, I scored 130 when I did the test.
Okay.
But I don't know how good the test is, right? Like,
no, it probably understated you by 70.
Oh, sure.
So, Martin, I'm a firm believer in talking about what's going on, right? So we have a topic for today, and wouldn't you know it, something really dumb I did 5 days ago fits in with this brain fog thing like unbelievable. So I've been reading and watching a lot of videos lately on nicotine and how it's heal stuff and that sort of thing, right? And I've had sore knees. So I took the nicotine patch and I took this much of it, and I put it on the thigh muscle above my knee, and it helped, right? Mm-hmm. And I have a good friend in Colombia who plays volleyball, and she had this. I don't mean to insult
this finger. Read between the lines,
right? This finger here was really, really sore. And the opposite wrist was really sore. And I know it was really sore because I wasn't thinking, right? Like, someone says, oh, I have a sore hand. Yeah, whatever. And then you don't think 10 minutes later, I grab her wrist and she jumps. And then I grab her hand and she jumps. So I says, wait, I have something for you. So I got this much and I put it on this wrist, and I got this much and I put it on this wrist. And I was told, or what they suggested was, put it on the muscle, don't put it on the bone, right? I don't know why, but I listened to it, right? So the next day, I grab her hand like this, no pain. I grab her wrist like this, no pain. It's magic because it was over a month she was dealing with this, right? Mm-hmm. So it's been 2 or 3 weeks. I've been not every day, not even thinking about like any sort of schedule. Just whenever I think about it, I stick it on my leg. So then I had this blinding flash of stupidity. The only way to describe it, okay? Because I take a piece. So if it's this big, I'm taking about a third. And I just thought, what would happen if I put it on this muscle, right? So I put it on the muscle. The next day, I think I'm going to die. My head is throbbing. I couldn't throw up because I hadn't had anything to eat. I'm laying in bed. I'm going, oh. And I'm still, so that was like for 2 days. And I talked to a friend of mine who's really into nicotine. And he said, oh, did you feel like you were going to die? I says, yeah. He says, yeah, that happened to me too. Why didn't you tell me? That's what I want to know beforehand. And then I was like 2 days, like really awful. And then a day I was like, oh, I'm getting better. And then yesterday I was like really awful. And today I feel like I'm getting better. So
back to normal.
And the only thing I can think of that people might understand is if you don't drink at all and somebody gave you 2 shots of tequila. and how you would just be like drunk.
Yeah.
And
Scott, were you ever a smoker?
I was never a smoker.
Okay.
So I've never had nicotine in my body.
Right. Well, you have. You see, nicotine is in tobacco, but it's all in all nightshade plants. So potato, tomato, bell pepper, goji berry, ashwagandha. Those are all nightshades. They all push nicotine, not at the same rate as what the tobacco plant will do, but.
Right.
And here's a funny thing. Niacin, which is the vitamin B3, got its name because they didn't want to associate it with nicotine. But the chemical that vitamin B3 is actually nicotinic acid. So you couldn't tell vitamin B3 apart from nicotine. And I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but the unbuffered niacin, when taken in a largish dose, will give you an awesome body flush. Have you ever experienced that?
What is a body flush?
Well, it's a histaminic reaction. So you turn beet red and you're itching all over, very itchy.
Is this a good thing?
Not necessarily. It
feels sound like a good thing, Martin.
Well, you're very itchy and you're very red. Anyway, I've done that. Back in 1980, 81 maybe, I bought a book by Dirk Pearson and Sandy Shaw called Mega Vitamin or Mega Nutrition. I have it here on the shelf. If you want me, I'll dig it out.
Okay. It's okay.
Anyway, in that book, they suggested, well, see what happens when you take a teaspoon of vitamin B3 straight up. And so I did, and it happened like that.
Wow.
But anyway, as a kid, I tried to be cool and learn to smoke. And wouldn't you know it, the first cigarette made me throw up. Makes almost anyone throw up.
Yeah.
If you take a dose of nicotine high enough, you just go straight into sympathetic overdrive is what the word is.
And that's like wanting to throw up.
Not just wanting to, just doing it. Yeah, you just...
I did that, but I didn't throw up anything because I hadn't had anything to eat.
But you would be going into this stress mode. Do you remember you were showing me some red bacteria that you spit out? How was that related to that time?
Well, long before this.
Long before. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Folks, I'm a mystery. All right. So anyway, tell us a little bit about nicotine. It's kind of like the latest fad. Is it something people should be staying away from?
Yeah. No. It's a fad, all right, but it's also fashionable. So point one, in 2015, a study was published by Harvard, the institution of record, in which they say that nicotine is not addictive. In cigarettes, the pyrols are the addictive part. The nicotine is not. Chemicals that get loose when you burn them. Pyre, like volatile things released in high heat.
Oh, okay. So there's a transformation that occurs.
Yeah. So stuff that's added to cigarettes makes them addictive, but the addictive part is not nicotine, despite the stupid warning on cigarettes that says nicotine is addictive. It's not. It's no more addictive than tomatoes and potatoes are. So that's part one. Part two, the citric acid cycle, which happens in the mitochondria, where food, specifically glucose, is converted into energy, specifically ATP. The nicotinic acid is involved in multiple steps. There are these inputs into the energy cycle, and it's about a 6-step affair chemically, how you transform these chemicals from one to the other. And the inputs include NAD and NMN. If you want to Google it, look it up, because it's going to have nicotinic and nicotinamide and that sort of names in it. So when you push the cigarette onto people, or the nicotine itself as through a nicotine patch, what you're doing is you're inserting something that's going to accelerate food to energy conversion in a very positive way. It's going to sharpen everything. That's why guys who are smokers say that they are sharper when they light up, right?
Right.
They smoke a cigarette to get focus.
So why didn't that work for me?
Well, it worked too well.
The extreme.
Yeah, any virtue taken to an extreme becomes a vice. In this moment, the chemical, you overdosed. You
And I
went.
couldn't believe
You
it
went
was
from.
like
You
this
see,
much.
remember the autonomic nervous system with its two branches, parasympathetic on one end, sympathetic on the other. So when you want sharpness, you go sympathetic. That's a territory not well known to you because you're a parasympathetic dominant. You know yourself as an easy guy, easy to relax, emotionally stable, and emotionally intelligent. Well, under the influence of nicotine, you went into sympathetic overdrive, where you just shut everything down. You did not feel like yourself.
I was definitely not myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the story. But anyway, there are a few defenders. I think Brian Ardis being the most dominant of them all out there. And but hey, you hear that? I mean, you see on screen Tucker Carlson pop a 15 milligram nicotine in his mouth. Now, you showed me a patch. Was your patch a 28 or a 14?
14.
Right, and you took a third.
Yeah.
So you took about a 5, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can watch Tucker Carlson pop a 15 in his mouth, go somewhat flushed in his face, and be really, really smart, quick on the whatever, right? Like when he talks, you get to wonder, where is this coming from? Because he's quick.
Right.
Well, the other guy that's famously doing it is Bobby Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
So it's out there. A lot of people are doing it. And the reason they're doing it is because it really does work well, because it upregulates your ability to convert energy, food into energy, produce energy. Therefore, you have more power to think, more power to move, quicker nerve responses, all of that wonderful stuff. That's nicotine for you.
Right. So the other thing that I've heard, and I want to check with you on this, is the receptors that nicotine attaches to are the same receptors that a lot of like the spike protein and stuff.
Yeah, the venoms.
The venoms attack.
Yeah. Alpha 7 nicotine. There's a name. There's a choline, acetylcholine, nicotinic acetylcholine receptor. That's what that is, and it's in your brainstem.
Oh yeah, my brainstem is still super stimulated.
Yeah. It's the opposite of lying down to sleep. You were probably just not able to relax for a good while.
Yeah, and I was in no state. I was just laying down because I couldn't move.
You're catatonic with eyes wide open with horrible thoughts of, I'm going to die. I think I'm going to die.
I never got to that point, but it was like what it must feel like.
Yeah, totally. So that was so to say, during the epidemic in 2020, when the things were at its worst, the statistics came through that smokers were not falling ill with this thing.
Right.
because the way the thing was designed, and it is now publicly admitted online and everywhere. Marty Makary, the head of FDA, I heard him say a week ago on a live talk, yeah, it was made in a lab. It's a military grade attack, and it's artificially created. And the approach that the organization and government took to try and deal with it was absolutely wrong. This is the head of the FDA speaking.
Why is that not front page news on every paper?
Because the organizations that are still running the front page are committed to the opposite. Here's what I think, Scott. And I think you told me a beautiful proverb one day. It's hard to convince a man of something. Believing the opposite makes his job impossible, or something like that.
Right. You
A
can't,
man is paid to believe A, he will not be convinced of B.
yeah, you can't teach somebody something that they are paid not to know.
Okay, that's a beautiful way of saying it. Okay, so if I were a doctor who has administered hundreds, if not thousands, of doses, how would I live with myself if all of a sudden I admitted that I actually killed a whole bunch of people doing it?
Yeah. It often reminds me of V for Vendetta, when the two detectives are figuring out what happened, and one of them says to the other, "Would you want to know?" And the other one looks at him like, "What do you mean? Would you want to know? Like, if our government did this terrible thing, would you really want to know?" The loss of innocence, right?
Yeah, that is exactly that. Because, and it's coming, Scott, this whole thing is coming to our entire society. We are going to be recording our predictions for 2026. And I promise you that this whole thing is going to blow up.
Yes. All right. So to get into our topic for today, talk about some top brain-friendly foods. Like people need omega-3s, fermented foods, magnesium-rich foods, hydration, herbal support. So those would be things like wild salmon, chia seeds, walnuts.
Yeah, all good stuff, right? So if you are feeling crappy because of the short days and long nights, experiencing the seasonal affective disorder, it's raining in your time zone or in your climate zone or whatever it is, you haven't seen sunshine in 3 days or 3 weeks or 6 weeks, you start feeling really bad. You need to try and lift your world somehow. And what you need more dopamine and serotonin. You need those transmitters preserved as best as possible. Actually, I didn't tell you, Scott, but the antidote is lecithin.
Oh, lecithin.
Yeah, lecithin itself, because it's composed of phosphatidylserine, phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, and one other one. Geez, not coming to me. And those things, especially the serine, is the lift for the brain processing. And the choline, we talked about acetylcholine moments ago, where the receptors are. Choline, acetylcholine, is that which carries the neural transmission from one synapse to the other. So we need more of that. So when you start pushing lecithin, especially organic sunflower de-oil lecithin, as you'd get in our shop, you will be loaded with the precursors that your body needs to keep you energetically well, and especially the neurotransmitters, right? Like, it's the neurotransmitters that are super important in this situation when you start feeling really crappy.
Right.
And you put your finger on it well. Omega-3s, super important.
Yeah. And so I guess if it's a sunny day and you're living in northern United States, Canada, or Europe, Russia, if it's sunny and you have a lunch break, go outside and stand in the sun
Mm-hmm.
for an hour, right?
Yeah.
Because even when we go out and it's cold, usually we're bundled all up and we've just got a little bit where the sun's actually touching our skin. So if you can go out with a t-shirt and get more sun on your body wherever you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Or go into a sun tanning bed, get yourself some vitamin D3 forming in your body. Of course, you need cholesterol and you need the skin oils. So don't wash and start sun tanning. You need to leave the skin oily and start sun tanning because it will convert the skin oils into vitamin D3. An important hormone and a vitamin at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's more to it, right? Like when the light hits the retina in your open eyes, but even blind people experience it, is the sunshine hitting your third eye through the skin.
Right.
It's important. It's really, really important for maintaining our mental health.
Yeah. Get out into the sun.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't do that, then get yourself some lights in your office or home that are full spectrum light source. It's worth it. They usually cost $300-400, but it's an awesome tool. Get full spectrum light on you.
All right. So we're going to talk about a couple products. And the first one is B12 with fulvic acid.
Right. Yeah, B12. Yeah, that's all about energy, right? Like if you're a poor energy converter, if you're not good at getting the energy back out of the foods, then you're probably deficient in B12. This is really easy for vegetarians to happen because B12 is found in red meats and organ meats. So it would be smart to get that. And of course, the trick here is that it's liposomal, which makes it way more absorbable, right? Like you get about 10 times more absorption with the liposomal compared to the regular stuff.
So that's one of the things that people need to educate themselves on, right? Is like how things are prepared and put together can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's really not how much is in it, it's how much you take in.
There goes, right? The difference between ingested and absorbed. How much can you utilize of what you put in?
I remember, I think this is it. You talked about methylcobalamin.
Yeah, okay. Well, so the word is cyanocobalamin that you're trying to fish out, and that's the cheaper chemical version. The methylcobalamin has been methylated, meaning...
What does that mean? You were just about to answer the question before I asked it, but
yeah, CH3 is the methyl ion, 1 carbon, 3 hydrogens. And that's involved in a lot of stuff. It happens in your liver. And when you methylate stuff, you turn toxic things into non-toxic things, unusable things into usable things.
Okay.
And it happens in your liver. Glutathione is involved in that process. And this is already pre-methylated, so you don't have to get your liver busy trying to convert your cyanocobalamin into methylcobalamin. That is actually the thing that has to be used.
Okay.
Yeah. And then some fulvic acid for extra absorption.
Right. And the other one we wanted to talk about briefly was Moody's. Seemed like
that's for people who are really suffering with dark moods. Yeah. It's a classic. It's a herbal approach to correcting your winter moods. If you're one of the people who gets easily gloomy, have this. Use this every day. I mean, you can look at the ingredients if you want. It's a bunch of plants that have been extracted into a tincture. Here's your, rhodiola is the most famous one. That's the most famous anti-stress herb that there is.
St.
In
John's.
St. John's wort, you've heard of that. That's the herb that triggers joy.
And cedar berries.
Right. Again, uplift. And ashwagandha, that's your long-term lift and strength. And black cohosh is something to do with hormones and uplift. And so is blue and vervain. Those are all hormonal corrections.
Okay. And they're what do you call it when they adjust? Like if it's
adaptogenics.
Adaptogenics.
Yes, they are.
So if it's going to go,
they help you. Yeah.
Unlike nicotine,
they help you and your body cope with reality.
Right. Unlike nicotine, and they're adaptogenics.
Oh, nicotine in the correct dose is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the herbal Moody's, 20 drops 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Away from
20
food.
drops is about an inch in the eyedropper.
Take directly in the mouth. Would you put it under the tongue?
Yeah, you want to hold it in your mouth so it can absorb through the tongue and cheek and whatever. And it's not going to taste great, but you're going to put up with it, and then you're going to maybe drink some water to wash it down. But you want to allow the whatever they are, the organic compounds that have been extracted from the plant, you want them to absorb in the mucous membranes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. And we have them in the comments if you want to check them out for yourself. And there we go. We've come to the end of another exciting episode.
Very exciting. You overdid the excitement in the most dramatic way. That's in fact that, right?
Yeah. I've still got the nicotine in me. I'm a whole new person.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Some people metabolize it faster than others. You must be a slow metabolizer.
I must be, because I feel much better right now, but I still don't feel myself.
Yeah.
No other way to put it.
All right.
So thank you, Martin, for taking time out of your busy day. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're here every Wednesday at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, and appreciate having you join us. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Don't miss any exciting episodes. Next week, find out if I'm still high on nicotine. And this is the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. Bye for now.
Hey! Hey!